Welcome back, YouTubers, and this is a follow-up video to my review on the Spiderfarmer SF-1000 grow light. So what I did was I built a table that has two shelves, lower, upper shelves. They measure 37 inches square, and they're built out of 2x3s and 1/2-inch plywood. And the top surface, well, actually the top and bottom surface of each shelf was painted with one layer of white primer. This gives me around 18 square feet of growing space. So there are actually two lights now, one for the upper shelf and one for the lower shelf. And what I've got going on here now, I have my lights at fixed distances. They come with the pulleys, so you can adjust how high they are. But what I've found is I can just move the plants closer to the center, more directly under the light, rather than constantly moving the light up and down if I want to increase or decrease the light intensity that the plants are getting, or if I wanted to, I could boost them up on something so that they're closer to the light. But I've found so far it doesn't really matter. This thing's very bright, and I haven't really had much of a problem with it. So just to see what I've got going on here, these are my palm trees, windmill palms. Let me pause this for a second and take the hoods off so you can see the plants better. So you can see I'm using standard 10x20 trays. The front tray here, I have catnip growing here, except for this one tray over here that has zinnia in it. And this is just one lavender plant that, I don't know, my daughter started that. I don't think it's doing very well. But I'm kind of excited about these windmill palm trees and hoping that as they get bigger, they'll thrive even in New Jersey's weather. They're supposed to be reasonably cold tolerant. And you can see they take forever to sprout from seeds. They took like 2-3 months for the seeds to sprout, but they're coming up nicely. And I've got 8 trees now, and we'll see what happens with that. Here I have a zinnia flower. You see it's got a bunch of flowers on it. And I actually had to cut the stem off of this one because it was getting too close to the light. And I took the cutting and I put it in a vase down here. And it's thriving in the vase with hydroponic solution. The upper one's also in hydroponic solution. And they're both doing fine, even the cutting. So over here, I've got a 10x20 tray full of large zinnias. These are just seedlings now, and in a few weeks they'll go outside, surrounding another windmill palm tree in a little circle. I'm replacing my Robolini Phoenix palm because that one I have to bring in the house and over winter, otherwise it'll die. So here's a little tomato plant. You can see the fairly decent sized tomato growing on it, but the plant's not really doing well. I got it in just a quart mason jar, and that's way too small for a tomato plant. And but you know, getting some more baby tomatoes on it, and we'll see. But we'll come back to that in a minute. So here I have snapdragon flower, and you can see it starting to flower down here. So the flowers are doing fine. You can see how deeply shaded green the leaves are. Plant's doing very well, even though it's only in a 6-inch pot, and I've got 3 plants in that pot. Down here is the the pièce de résistance. My tomato plant. I grew this from a seed, and it has taken over not only the whole bottom shelf, but you can see it's growing up the sides, and it's getting light from the upper light now. Even in the back, you can see where it's grown outside the 37-inch square thing, and it's starting to go up over the second shelf again. There's a bunch of flowers on it. You can see I've got tomatoes growing over here, and back here. Hard to get to. There they are. Whoops. Get that out of the way. There we are. So I got, and this thing is going crazy, and I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up with the tomatoes that this thing's going to produce. It's got flowers all over the place, and I ordered this little $5 electric toothbrush off of Amazon, so it buzzes and all the pollen shoots out, and it helps to pollinate it, and it's working great. So this is something my daughter did. She's growing basil down here, and these are impatient balsamina seedlings. It'll go outside in a few weeks too. They'll thrive in partial sun. So, you know, the light, I mean, I think you can see based on how the tomato plant is doing, the light is perfectly out of it. I mean, I figure if tomatoes like full sun, so if the tomato plant's thriving, then you know the thing's putting out a lot of light. One thing I'm doing, I wanted to try the tomato hydroponically, but what I'm kind of going to end up doing is bottom watering. So I put the nursery pot on this bin lid, which acts as a little reservoir, and I water the lid, and then the water can wick up into the soil. And I just started doing that the past week, and I think that's a more efficient way of watering that plant, but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, this is what's happened with these grow lights, and you see my cart's on wheels, but given I had to support this plant with these strings here, I don't know that I'm going to be able to move this cart around as much as I would like to at the moment without yanking that tomato off there. But I don't know how long I'm going to keep that plant there or not. But hey, the lights work great. This little table arrangement has worked great. So I'm happy with the lights, and I recommend them if you're looking for a light to illuminate an area of about that size. Figure 3 feet by 3 feet area. So thanks for watching.